racetrack, it's probably the best car I ever drove, and it's a statement. I drove a lot of car on racetrack, and when people ask me, what's the best car, the best SUV to buy around $100,000, I always have the same answer.
You really love that car, huh? 296, you really love that thing, huh?
Yes, so I was telling you offline, I wish a 296 was looking like a SF90.
Yeah. I've had all three.
Yeah.
I've had Ferrari, I've had McLaren, I've had Lambo. McLaren's the best.
I tell you something, when people ask me what's the best car on the planet right now, it's a 7.
Okay, so this is Auto Vault, the Auto Vault?
Yes, this is
Auto Vault of Rodeo Drive.
Yes. Auto Vault of Rodeo Drive.
Yes.
It's their 45th anniversary.
Since 1979. It's on the screen if you have a dot over there.
Huge shout out to Auto Vault, Scott, Kay, for letting us be here today. Sit down with Clement here, really get down to the nitty gritty. They're actually like a full concierge service. Like they're basically like wealth management for your car.
Yeah.
Service, maintenance, washing the car, delivery, anything you need, registration, storage. It's absolutely insane. And they've been here for 45 years, tucked away, you wouldn't even know.
Which is crazy.
I can't even believe this is here.
No. I've never been here.
Look at the location. You're on Rodeo Drive. You know, it's like, oh my God.
Tucked underneath the Ralph Lauren store.
We pulled up and we're like, where is this place? And then it's just deep underground under Rodeo Drive is a couple $1 million worth of cars.
Yes.
Where else,
sure.
right?
It's absolutely.
This is probably where I don't know this. This is just, maybe you know this. It's probably where they kept that Bijan Bugatti. Pull it down here, pull it back up in the morning.
That's it, and just keep it tucked away.
Yeah, for sure. But he has Formula One's driver's car here, so you know that's more unique than that Bugatti.
Scott was in here telling, give a little nuggets before you got here. He's got some shit here you couldn't even imagine that's here.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, one-off stuff that I didn't even know what he was talking about.
So we got a Lamborghini Miura over there.
Yep.
In green, which
How about
is
the SLR?
amazing. SLR is great, but that's a Miura.
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree.
I like the SLR more. I like the Miura, but I understand the value is absolutely bonkers. But
all right.
Nonetheless, we're here with Clement Connor, founder, owner, Fastlane Drive. Introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm Clement Connor, CEO and founder of Fastlane Drive. I'm originally from Paris. I live in La Jolla, California. I moved here in 2008. My life here has been absolutely dream on everything. To give you a little background of the story, I opened a marketing agency in 2014 and loved my life, was growing really fast. We were really happy. And by chance, in 2017, I started to do marketing for O'Gara and a really big brand. I cannot tell that brand, but we loved it. We had a really good partnership. And at that time, I buy myself 991 Turbo S, go on a drive all the time with friends, we network, we have fun. And one of the drive, we drive for all morning, we have a cool lunch, a cool after party. And the next day, everybody was like, oh my God, that's the best time of my life, where we don't do that more often. So we came back to O'Gara, we told them the idea about Fastlane Drive and the vision. And they were like, we need that for our clients, it would be really amazing. So we bought a domain name, we created a website, we created the social media, and they sponsored us right away. And to make it short, in pretty much 1 year, we got to 100 members. They helped us a lot, but we were good in marketing, good in social media. We had a really big connection. Obviously, we were pretty successful with our marketing agency. And I was really happy at that time. I just wanted to do a local club where I could raise money for cool charity, drive with my friend. We were going to Vegas, Scottsdale. We were going to Los Angeles, but it was a local club. But at that time, my marketing agency blew up with all the referral I was getting from Fastlane. And COVID happened 2020, and we almost closed Fastlane. It was really bad. By chance, one of our sponsors helped us to continue during that period. And it was really hard because we started to have employees. We could not pay really our bill with Fastlane. But our marketing agency was still pretty stable. And end of 2020, middle of 2020, one of my members, Ian Blair, moved to Scottsdale and was like, I'm going to miss Fastlane so much. It's going to be hard. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like, well, you don't open a license over there. So with John Barbudo, owner of LAS, with Jamie Herberts and Thomas, they opened the first license. When we opened the first month, we got 50 qualified applications. So we were like, we are really into something. So we continue, we do a drive, works really well. The word of mouth was amazing over there, even maybe faster than in San Diego. So we had 2 licenses. We were like, this is incredible.
You're talking about like franchising or?
It's license, so it's kind of the same idea, but
Yeah.
a little difference. It's giving them a little more freedom. They're still using the names, they're using our process, they're using all our social media, so everything is one umbrella. That's why we're really protecting everything we're doing, because they have to follow our direction and everything, but that is giving them more freedom to who they accept, a little the cars they accept, the type of event they are doing, because every place needs to have different event. I cannot do the same event in Vegas that I'm doing in LA and I'm doing in Monaco. So it's pretty much the same idea. Then we opened Los Angeles. That has been we can talk a little after, but LA has been really big for us, but we struggled for a year with LA. At the opposite, we got so many applications at the beginning. I think the first month we got to 300, but we could not convert people to become members. And still, because San Diego was so close, we were at Arizona, and in the same time we opened Vegas, we had a lot of people coming. So for a year, we still had people, but it was really hard. And then we opened Miami, and that is when things went really up because we were multi-coastal. The first event in Miami was incredible. We had like police escort. We closed a bridge. We raised a lot of money for charities. And
close the causeway down, huh?
Yeah.
Miami's perfect for...
Miami's perfect. And at that time, I started to sell my marketing agency. I did a leadership program, realized I was not really happy and really wanted to focus on Fastlane. And then we opened, a year and a half ago, Monaco. And that has been the explosion. American and people in the world love Monaco. And we started to have a lot of famous drivers, professional race car drivers in Monaco. We have Dorian Boccolacci. He was best friend with, and he's really good friend with Charles Leclerc. He was racing with him, doing go-karting with him. We have Thierry Neuville. He's like, right now, he's in standing next weekend to become world champion of WRC with Kia. So it's something that is pretty cool. And that for Monaco helped US a lot. We started to get better reputation. They're like, okay, they are really serious. And then the ball rolled over. So after we signed DC has been our fastest growing one for a year. I'm sure you will have never guessed that.
Definitely not.
Such an amazing car community there. And people also, we don't have another car club. There is one, but not something like we build. Then we open Austin. Then we open 4 more locations in what it's called Florida. We had Vegas, I was saying at the beginning. And now, as of today, we have 17 active. We just signed Palm Springs. So it's pretty much everywhere in the world in Monaco. Next year, we're going to do Japan, so it's going to be cool. We're going to roll over probably to London, Paris. And what is magical with Fastlane, you are called Supercar Connection, but it's pretty much the same idea. When you join one club, you can go to any location around the world, meet really cool people. We do extremely different events across the globe because, for example, in Utah, we have a chapter when we can do snowmobile. When we go to Miami, we're going to do a yacht party. When we go to Monaco, we're going to do gastronomical restaurants. When we do LA, we do a mix of really technical drive, good lunch. For example, tomorrow we're going to go to a helicopter hangar. We can do racetrack, drag race. When we go to Vegas, we can do like a nightclub like XS because people want a little more of that in Vegas. So it's like we're trying to really make all our members happy and create a really good connection. You have to do an interview to join Fastlane. You need sometimes to have a referral. We are really strict on who we accept because we want to be a member. Yeah, to be a member. We have 15 to 18 billionaires. We have a lot of really successful people. And we want to be sure that when people arrive, they're on the same level to each other. You know, we don't want distinction of money, age, race. Everybody, when they arrive, they pretty much leave their luggage at the door, and everybody will be friends with each other. So when you arrive, it's the same line of people around the world with different specificity based on the region. But when you arrive, people right away, you feel this connection. And because you do an interview, because you have to be voted in by our board, people love it and they feel they are part of something really unique. And we see it because our renewal in LA, San Diego, and it's pretty much 95%. It's really high. And usually when people don't renew, it's because they have to sell their car, they're getting divorced, they move to another city. But now we are in so many cities, and when they move, they're like, oh, we are happy, we're doing that. We had so many members moving to Miami post-COVID, so they were really happy. A lot of members now are moving back to California, so they're happy. So we had a member last week, he moved from San Diego to Bay Area. He was like, perfect, right away I'm going to make friends. So it's good. And we realized a lot of successful people struggle to meet other successful people, because they are so busy at work, so busy with their kids, their wife, so busy doing things that sometimes they don't know where to go out. And on a golf club or Soho House or things, sometimes it's hard to meet other people. Mm-hmm. And here you have a common passion: cars, having fun, philanthropy, giving back. So Fastlane for me, it's obviously my dream job. I'm dreaming a life to do what I'm doing, but it's also like you're giving so much pleasure and energy to all your members. So absolutely incredible journey, and I love it so much.
Well, you took the concept of like a rally and made it more local. I mean, obviously you're global too, but you think about, because this whole the supercar connection, right? That name was intentional because of just, you get around people, you start talking, like when you find another car person, you start talking. You look up 3 hours later, you've been talking about cars for 3 hours. And
exactly.
They might be a stranger.
And that's pretty much the idea. So the concept is like, if Gumball Rally, YPO, your professional entrepreneur organization, and Soho House had a baby, that will be Fastlane Drive. So when you join one club, you can go anywhere. We do curated rallies. We drive together. At the different with Gumball, you drive on your own. We drive as a wolf pack. If someone is left behind, everybody is waiting. So we're really driving together. Even on the drive, we have radio. We are talking shit to each other. We're having fun with each other. So, it's like, even on the drive, we do a stop for gas or for food or whatever. People jump to each other to talk to each other, take pictures, have fun. So the energy during a rally is a little different. And when I got my first, before my 991, I got a 997 and a 996 Turbo. And I was doing like some rally, I'm not going to tell the name, but people are driving separately, they're arriving, leaving. And I was like, that's so sad. Why you don't put all this connection together? Obviously, Gumball, Gold Rush, you spend a week together. So you're going to spend so much time together, going out, and that's creating real relationship. And that thing with Fastlane is not one time per year. It's every single weekend across the world, but every single month per location. So it's local and global. We do local chapters event like tomorrow in LA. That's pretty much anyone can join us, but that's going to be more local. So we have 10 people coming from San Diego, for example, but we want more people from LA. And what we have is also the multi-chapter when people from all around the world are meeting in one location. So the next one is going to be in Utah. We're going to do a ski trip with everybody for 3 days. The following one is going to be a mini Gumball between Orlando, Tampa. We're going to do Palm Beach and finish in Miami on 3 yachts. The following one will be the multi-chapter for the anniversary in Vegas, so that's going to be massive. And following one will be Monaco again this year. Can you imagine, we sent the registration 24 hours ago. We already got 22 people who committed for next year and paid. So and you have more location, but it's incredible. And what a chance. You travel with all your friends from US to go drive around Monaco, Saint-Tropez, Nice, Cannes with all your friends. So we help them to find cars over there. It's really hard to ship cars across the globe, as you know. But when they come, they are like so excited about it.
I can only imagine. Let me ask you this. What exactly goes into the qualification process to get approved as a member?
Someone like you, someone who love cars, who has a passion for cars, who love to network with other people, who like to give back to charity, who are humble, really important. When we do an interview and the guys start to talk about how many cars he has, then like it's not usually a right fit. We had a story, I was telling the story recently. If someone arrives and say, oh, I have 20 Ferraris, like, nobody cares. Like, you're always going to have someone in Fastlane who has more cars. You know, we have members who have hundreds of $1 million of cars. So you're always going to have someone who have more. So the goal is really to have people who want to just meet other friends. And another thing which is really important, it's a family club. So first of all, 25% of our members are women. The women in this world are usually not there. So we really created a woman community, and it's a family club. So when someone joins, a husband or a wife, the partner, the husband, wife, or partner, already getting a membership. So it's a family membership. We want them to come with their wife. We want the wife to come with her husband. So that's creating a family vibes, and that's really a big distinction compared to other car club. Because the biggest excuse we had also from men was like, let me ask my wife, let me find a babysitter. Now, I'm telling you, the wife are asking more to come than the husband sometimes. My girlfriend, Nicole, she's so sad when she cannot come to an event. This weekend, she's in Palm Beach for a bachelorette party, and she texts me, she said, I wish I could be there tomorrow and see everyone and drive with you. And it's something exceptional. Think about it. When you do a 2-3 hour rally, the husband and wife spend time together without the kids, without their issue, and without cell phone. You are in your car, you are in the canyon, you cannot be there. So you have to talk to each other, you have to have fun with each other. Obviously, sometimes maybe the co-pilot has some issue on communication, but he's really creating something that is different for a relationship. And we realize a lot of time he makes a couple stronger.
Unless they're running Gentani exhaust, then I don't think.
Yeah, then there's no one talking.
Let's talk about that. So I had a member who said, I put a straight pipe on my car so I don't have to hear my wife. I was like, this is so mean, you know. But
you got the Gentani A12.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you say? I can't
he
hear
starts
you.
talking.
He
just pins it.
What does the average Fastlane Drive event look like?
So we're gonna meet, depend if it's a multi-chapter or an event for like this weekend. Tonight we have a dinner with a lot of members at Soho House. So it's gonna be 2-3 hour dinner. Tomorrow morning we're starting from Lamborghini of Beverly Hills, O'Gara. They are one of our partners since day one. They saved me this weekend. They also got me one of the first Revuelto in US, so it's pretty exciting. So we're gonna drive, start from there. We're gonna drive for 2-3 hours in a canyon place, do a lot of stop to network, have fun, you know, take pictures and exchange numbers. And after, we're going to do a really cool place. So it can be a yacht party. It can be a hangar like tomorrow. Last time we did it at Petit Hermitage on a rooftop. It was Fast and Furious style, you know, a big table with everybody. Right. So people love that. Family. And tomorrow night, we're finishing in a place called Members. So it's a Moroccan vibe restaurant / a little nightclub, not a nightclub.
Members?
Yes.
On Sunset?
Exactly.
Oh, babe, we're smoking hookah. We're living it out, baby. Let's go. I love it.
So the owner, Thomas, is one of my best friends. He's one of our members. He's really active. He owns also Puzzle. He owns Amour. So we're doing a lot of events with them. And Sunday morning, we're going to have a small breakfast with the members who are visiting. And when we do a multi-chapters, that's going to be a little more extended. For example, I can give you Miami. On Friday night, we had a dinner on a private beach with all the members. Saturday morning, we had a police escort around all Miami for 3-4 hours. Imagine you drive with police escort around Miami with everybody. Such a dream.
Ridiculous.
We had lunch in a private hotel. At night, we went to one of the best restaurants for Miami. And Sunday, we had 3 yachts. One of them is incredible, 95 feet, brand new from one of our members.
95 footer.
Yeah,
nice.
and we party all day. We do that a lot in San Diego. And if you look at it, the question is how much was that? It was for 2 people for 3 days in Miami was $2,500. So we leverage the membership and our sponsor to be as inexpensive as possible. One of my members, I had dinner with him last night, Param. He was telling me, man, I went back to Miami 3 months after. I spent $10,000. I didn't do 10% of what I did. So they love it. For example, Monaco this year for 4 days, including Saint-Tropez, Monaco, Fairmont, Cannes, is $10,000 for 2 people. So if you look at it, our members are getting a lot of values for the experience they are getting, the connection they are getting. We have an app to connect people around the world. We also have partnership with a lot of major brands like car brands and everything. But the events, if you do that by yourself, you will spend maybe 10 to 15 times more money.
Easily.
And you're alone. You're not with a bunch of other car freaks.
Yeah. And
it makes it even better.
And here is good because you are alone, and then you are with a lot of people, and then you are alone. We are as a lot of people. But when we do rallies, not a lot of downtime. That's the problem with Fastlane. It's go, 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 go. So I love that. I don't like to be in a hotel room or by myself. So for me, when we do Fastlane, it's like go, 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 and people love it.
Yeah, we're not in the slow lane.
Yeah,
exactly. Me coming over the canyon tonight behind the slowest C-class in the world.
Trying to get to Beverly Hills at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
we say living in the fast lane.
Yeah. Exactly. Through cold water. Come on now.
Break me down. What does every member get for that $10,000 for in Monaco, for example?
So they get 4 nights of hotel, Fairmont. We did Majestic at Cannes. It's I think 5-star hotel. 2 nights in the best hotel in Saint-Tropez. They're getting premium food. When I say premium is we're going to gastronomical. We're going to after parties at like Club 55, Bagatelle. It's really hard to have table for so many people. They're getting a lot of merch. They're getting also VIP services. So, for example, everywhere we go, they're going to have their luggage delivered in their bedroom, picked up in their bedroom. They're going to have venues that they will not have access. We have a big team. Last year in Monaco, we had 15 people really taking care as a concierge service of everybody. If you will do that by yourself, it will probably be double price because all those hotels, all those high-end restaurants. And think about it, last year we did Monaco, and one of my members came to me and said, we drove for 3 hours in a place, you had no idea, 100 feet canyon in the middle of nowhere. And we arrived in a Michelin star restaurant in the middle of nowhere. And that member said, first of all, it was the best drive of my life. He had star in his eyes. And he said, and that lunch, I never had a lunch like that in my life. So, the whole thing and all energy for that was good. But that are really our most expensive event. Our average event for a day like tomorrow in LA is about $500-$600 for 2 people. So it's not a deal breaker. We use, again, our sponsor and the membership to really coverage. And when we do a 1 or 2 day, it's going to be $2,500, maybe $3,000, including everything. So again, if you do that by yourself, it would be a little more complicated.
You got chapters all over the world at this point. Who's planning everything? Do you plan everything from the central location, or are there like chapter owners that kind of do the planning?
So this is a really good question. So the chapters locally are planning everything.
Yeah.
Because if you centralize everything with a connection, for example, if I plan it here from Miami, it's going to be really, really complicated. However, when we do multi-chapter, we assist our chapter to plan everything. First of all, we help them with promotion to members because they need to be aware of event. They need to understand what we are doing. We need also to get more members, like doing all the marketing behind. That's really important. And we help them also to have the connection, for example, for the yacht in Miami. It's one of our members. Last night, I was with the owner of Club 55. It's the most exclusive restaurant and beach club in Saint-Tropez. I introduced that to them, so they're going to have the relationship. So our relationship is so strong with so many places, and so many places wants to do business with us. Obviously, we bring them good people, so we help with that. Maybe in the future we're going to change a little the model. It's in conversation with our chapters for the multi-chapter to plan everything, and then they have to do nothing. But we constantly involving also the model. It cannot be something that is never moving.
Yeah, well, as a business owner, you got a restaurant, a club, or whatever. Who wouldn't want 40 wealthy business owners
with their luxury supercars outside?
But
we have a great time for a night.
Yeah, but the problem, the restaurant, and that is, without controversy, is our biggest struggle. And that's why we do a lot of time. We're trying to go to different places. So we rent big mansion and we do a lunch with everybody. Because restaurant, when they hear supercar and wealthy people, they try to overcharge. So now we had to change the communication and say, hey, it's mostly for charity because we raise money pretty much at every drive. I think this year we raised close to $200,000 to different charities. We did for the hurricane in in the Florida a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
We did the Make-A-Wish Foundation a few times. We did for cancer. So we also trying to make the restaurant understand that we're bringing good people, we're raising money, and it's going to be really good advertising because, for example, Amour is going to be all over my social media when we're doing a place, an event there. So for their credibility, for the brand awareness is great. I've been doing events for close to 2.5 years with Thomas and members. I think 50% of my members are going back to his place all the time. So obviously you understand.
Exactly.
And it's hard for a restaurant to make money on the other side. It's really complicated industry right now. So we want also to support them. So I'm trying to support, for example, if a member has a place, we're going to be sure that we're going to prioritize his restaurant.
Yeah, 100%. So you've had this, just got this Revuelto, yeah?
Correct. 2 weeks ago, I tried to do everything to have it ready for you guys. So we've been talking for almost a year to do the podcast, and finally it's working. Mm-hmm. And I was really excited to have the car here tonight. Yeah, and the little story. So the car arrived 2 weeks ago. We were supposed to do a satin PPF on it, but we did a new ceramic coating on it. It's a new system that is auto-healing, under warranty for 15 years.
15 years on ceramic coating?
Yeah, it's
this
a new
tech. It's crazy.
It's really new technology. My guy from San Diego, Modern Image, is putting that into me. And when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Maybe the satin will wait because it's absolutely splendid. I took the car the first weekend to Thermal last weekend. So you had to breaking it the right way. On the racetrack, it's probably the best car I ever drove, and it's a statement. I drove a lot of cars on racetrack. My second favorite is probably a GT3. Mm-hmm. So, it's a big difference. And the instructor told me on the radio, man, this car is fast. He had a STO. I was following him. And on a straight line, this car is just fabulous. And I was scared that we would be so heavy with a battery. And actually, the center of gravity is so low with a battery that it's magical on the racetrack.
It's planted.
It
catches corners. It rips. When it hits the straightaway, you apex that turn, and it's just gone.
Exactly.
So you like this more than the GT3 RS on the track?
I didn't drive a GT3 RS on the track. I drove a GT3.
Oh, sorry,
I drove an old GT3 RS. I drove a 990.
You like the Revuelto better than the GT3 on the track?
Yes. And it's a statement. I also I have a Turbo S. We can talk about this subject. I know you love it. I have a 296. And my daily driver is a Ford Raptor. I want to be really incognito every day. Tinted windows. You don't see me inside. You can pull the boat. So it's really important that for Fastname, I have really good cars, but on daily driver, I don't want to do anything. Nicole has a Taycan. But this car has been nothing but incredible. I already got 3 members out of it. We did a podcast last week. Someone heard that I had a Revuelto, did an application for OC. I got 2 people from Thermal last weekend that were like, they heard about Fastname, but when they saw that, they're like, okay, we want to join. It was only for Revuelto owners. And I got someone from the street in Palm Springs who's going to join, if you believe so, that came to talk to me. We had a watch brand that came to me to talk to me because we had this car. So the advertising on this car is incredible. And I had a guy from Seattle that I met a couple of days ago driving this car. They say, hey, can we open it in Seattle? I live there. So this is the best advertising for the club. And we were driving with a couple of my friends a couple hours ago in Rodeo Drive. I think you're getting as much as attention with this car than with LaFerrari. And it's pretty crazy. We're driving with LaFerrari on Rodeo Drive during the day. Everybody comes around you. So
same with this, huh?
Yeah. So we are lucky we had it. For the Revuelto owners that are listening this podcast, do not forget to charge your car. So I had a little issue.
Yeah, what happens?
I was at Nicole's parents after Thermal. They live in Palm Springs. We didn't plug the car. We shipped the car to LA. When the car arrived, we didn't use it for 2 days. I left it to one of my friend's house, the guy who has LaFerrari and everything. And when I used it the first day, it was good, but we realized the battery voltage was really low. And at night, I went to go on a drive with one of my friends, and he was like, oh, it's fast. I'm like, no, it's really slow. So next morning, my friend uses it, calls me back and say, you have a check engine light. By chance, we have a partnership with O'Gara. So thanks to Vartan at O'Gara, we called him right away, the service manager there. And I was like, please save me. I have a podcast tomorrow. I really want the car. We've been talking for a year and I have a rally on Saturday. So I was really proud to introduce the car to my members. This is a huge accomplishment for me. I don't come from money. I struggle to get that. And they fixed it in 24 hours. So the battery, if you are not charging it, is getting low. And it's pretty much messing up the whole system. So you have to reboot, you have to change one of the battery. The good news about it, I did not have Bluetooth and Apple CarPlay for a week. Now I have everything, and now the tech is really good. Minus the sound system, but we will go there another time.
This thing is so electronically advanced now that the hybrid system's so integrated with everything that one electronical connection goes bad, it could throw the whole system off to the point where the car is not even usable at that point.
So this is the hybrid battery you got to keep plugged in?
Yes.
Or just like on a trailer?
No, the hybrid battery. It needs to be all the time. I had the issue I was telling you with the 296. I had the 296 now for 14 months, never had one issue. And my electricity in my neighborhood went off. I was gone for 2-3 weeks, forgot to put it, the plug out and inside again. And the battery was dead. So they had to go to Ferrari to do a hardcore reset, but the car could not move. So it was a struggle about it. And you need to know with hybrid engine, especially with this car, you need to plug it all the time.
They need to stay plugged in.
Yeah.
That's the whole problem with the SF90s right now. That's why those things are tanking. You got a battery problem in SF90, you're 150 Gs out.
It seems like that's the problem with all these hybrids.
Yeah.
Whatever Artura, you hear the same stories with all these hybrid cars. They have battery.
I mean, the 296, not one problem. So I'm telling you, is the tech is great. The car is so reliable. It's so fun to drive. So I believe, and that is a subject we can open or not. I think the world needs to go to the hybrid world because I think it's the best of both worlds. We need for emission, for a lot of things that are happening, we need to have better range, better things. And I think the electric car came too fast, too early. People don't want electric car in US. This is a reality. So when you buy an electric car, you know you're going to lose 60% of it. However, when you combine the best of both worlds, a V12 with a hybrid, this car to drive is scary fast. Why not? And that we need to really get used to it because combining the best of both worlds will help the future to get where we want to be without killing our combustion engine.
So you don't think the cars are getting too numb?
I mean, come on the drive in this car is nothing
Don't worry,
but
after
numb.
this, you said we could drive it, so
Yeah.
we'll get the full take on it.
Exactly. I think the new Bugatti is going to be incredible. Did you hear raving that car? I mean, this is going to be way better than the turbo before. And I think we are in a period of time where people...
You said new Bugatti.
The new Bugatti, the Tourbillon.
The V16.
Yeah, but the
naturally aspirated V16.
Exactly.
That's insane.
But because he has an hybrid, so it sounds 10 times better than the Chiron before. That is my dream car. So we're getting to a place where you can have really incredible car together, pretty much.
But they're doing, we got hybrid V12. That's great. Happy about it. Hybrid V16. That's just, I want to see how long that motor is.
That's disgusting.
Insane.
It really what it is.
Yeah.
What's sad is when you have a hypercar with a hybrid V6. That hurts a little bit.
I don't really totally agree with this one. Yeah, because so we're in a period, and is what I wanted to say. It's like, if you remember about 20 years ago, the debate on turbos. I mean, we were really young, but I remember my dad telling me when they implemented turbos in Ferraris, Porsche, people were screaming, why are you putting a turbo? It needs to be naturally aspirated. Same thing when you had a 458 to the 488. I had a 488 for 2.5 years. It was my favorite car on the planet. It was incredible. And I'm a big Porsche turbo guy. So the reality, I think we're in this period where people need to do the transition with it. And right now, the V6 hybrid that I have on the 296 is really good because something to realize, it's a really light car. So on the turn, on the Canyon, on the racetrack, it's incredible. And people say V6, but Formula One is a V6 today. Porsche is a flat six. It's been there forever. So yes, it's not a V6, but it's still a flat six, you know? So the reality is there. So I understand the frustration on the F80, and I've been talking to one of my member and one of my best friend who has everything. He's getting the F80, he's getting the SP3. We think that the SP3 should have been the LaFerrari replacement, and pretty much the F80 should have been kind of a different segment. The reality also, and we don't realize, the legislation in Europe right now is so complicated on those cars that they have to go somewhere else. I was watching an interview of Charles Leclerc this morning about the F80, and the guy was driving the car and he was scared how fast it was. He was like, it's pretty much like my Formula One. So I understand the frustration, and I have a V12, so I cannot criticize. I wish it was a V12, but I think it's like also we're getting to a place it's going to be really scary fast, pretty efficient, and really light. So when you drive this car on racetrack, canyon, or it's going to be more efficient and more powerful.
I think the problem we're suffering right now is, I think you're right at the end of the day, that the hybrid world is where we're going to end up at. Cars are going to be crazy efficient, crazy fast, but we're at that weird stage where the technology is still too new. We have too many issues.
Yeah.
Like you talk about turbos 20 years ago, turbo lag, anti-lag, all that stuff like that. It took so long for them to get everything dialed, the timing, to where now turbos are so effective that it's not even, it's a no-brainer.
Exactly. But and the widow Porsche had the issue that created a lot of people dying with that Porsche back in the day. But the technology is there. Think about it. We were talking about it. You can do a straight pipe right now, a Gentani or another brand on your Revuelto. You go back home, you're on electric mode, you don't wake up your neighbors, and you go back the next day to the racetrack, you have 1,000 horsepower. So I think the technology is there. We just need to realize that the world is changing and we need to adapt ourselves. The electric world is a little different. Rimac, as you know, right now is struggling. I think they're going to go to probably combusted engine. Porsche is a disaster. Volkswagen is firing, I think, 30% of their workforce because they invested so much. You can get any Audi right now with electric for 20% of the price if you pre-lease it. So the brand going to roll back over. We're going to have a change on the legislation. And I think if you do 100 years of engineering of petrol head people and petrol head engine, plus the electric world where you can get 50 miles, 100 miles, 150 miles, that's going to be incredible. I had 4 of my friends who are influencers who work in the car industry who tried the new Bentley GT with 800 horsepower, including Parker, that you had last week. They say this car is scary fast, and you can drive so many miles in full electric. So if you think about it, the world is there. So it's going to be a controversy that I understand and I respect, but I'm ready for the change, and we need also to protect the world. You know, I'm creating a lot of drives. We need to respect also the change in this world and be sure that we're becoming green. So Fastlane is also trying to be carbon neutral. We're trying to plant trees. We're trying to raise money for that. So if we can get to a point where we're polluting a little less during a drive, I think it's something that will be good. And Rimac are welcome on our drive, and Taycan Turbo S are welcome on our drives too, because we want to embrace this change a little.
Yeah, I mean, there's some amazing cars. There's no doubt. Like what the Rimac is able to do, and what, like, the fact that you can go buy a Model S Plaid with some miles on it for $60,000, and it's got over 1,000 horsepower, and you're doing 1.9 to 60.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But the problem, you're going to lose, again, half of the value. The car going to break down all the time. Tesla is a different, it's mass production, so it's an issue. And the Taycan is a big issue. My girlfriend got one for 65% off. What a deal. I mean, this car on the street, Everybody turn heads, give her compliments. It's fun to drive.
It's a very nice drive.
Yeah.
It's a very nice drive.
It's
It
fast.
surprised the shit out of me when I drove. I drove like my first one maybe 2 weeks ago. It surprised the shit out of me. I was not ready for that.
I can imagine.
I was not. I got in and I was like, see how this is. And
Think about how nice a Tesla like feels, and then just
it was a Porsche. That's why I was assuming it was going to be shit. So
but the anxiety from the range. Oh, last week we took it to Palm Springs from San Diego. We were so stressed the whole way. Are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? So that is also a big problem with the infrastructure.
The electric world, the infrastructure isn't there. That's the only reason why, if you really look at Tesla, why they're successful is they've built the infrastructure 10 years ago. Yeah. Everybody's playing catch up now. Like, you look at it, the reason why like the whole North American charging standard, why everyone's switching is because Tesla saw the whole landscape and they said, okay, we're going to mass produce these vehicles, but at the same time, we have to figure out the new gas station era. And they were building charging stations years before anybody else got on board. Now they're sitting on the most charging stations, the most accessibility, so not everyone's forced to conform to their charging port. That's the future. But right now, the infrastructure is not built 100% where it's convenient enough for the everyday person to own an electric car.
And think about us. We have a supercharger at home. We have solar, so we don't pay for anything. And you can go anywhere locally. If you go to road trip, go to different places, don't do it. And another thing, I wanted to buy a daily driver truck with electric, but I don't want to spend $90,000, $100,000. And in a year from now, it's valuing 50. You know, that's the problem right now is the car industry need to find a solution on lease program or payment program where it's going to be shorter and either they come with lower price or something for the aftermarket. Because right now, imagine like a Taycan at 65% off. This is a steal. This is a really incredible car. And you know, the Hummer we see, they're doing program at $750 per month because the reality, American, they don't want electric cars. And Tesla, as you said, they have the best network, but they stop investing into it. So how it's going to be in 5-10 years when it's going to be saturated?
You want to know why Americans don't want electric cars?
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
You just told me about your setup, right?
Yeah.
At the house?
Exactly.
You have supercharger solar panels?
Yeah.
What's the number one thing that's becoming more difficult in the United
States? To charge your car. Yeah.
Charge your car.
Electricity.
Own a home.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting phased out of being able to buy a house. So the fact that you own a home, that setup you have is the most ideal setup on the planet.
Yeah.
Charge every night, wake up, 300 miles, unplug. You never have to go to the gas station, never think twice about it. But the average person is becoming harder to buy a house to have that same setup. You live in an apartment complex with 300 people and they have 2 chargers in the parking lot and you have 50 electric cars. It's not efficient. Versus your setup, you come in, don't even think about it, plug it in, plug out, you're chilling. It's a lot more difficult now because not everyone has a home. So like I said, the infrastructure.
Americans have to drive further too.
It's just not there.
I was talking to one of my friends. It's a really good point last week. He has a Tesla, and he works for a big corporation. Doesn't matter the name. And he said the corporation installed a lot of supercharger at work. People fight, like argue about charging their car. So he said, finally, we can never use it. I have to go back after work charging my car for 20, 30 minutes. And he doesn't have a supercharger at home. He said, I'm done. I'm going to go back to something hybrid or more efficient for every day. And that's the reality. And for example, the Raptor, it's a V6. Again, we go back to that. It's not that bad in gas, but if this car had a hybrid, would be absolutely magical. You know, like insane. You can drive, right now I drive 380 miles. I would be able to drive 500, 550. Would be perfection. Mm-hmm. And when people ask me, what's the best car, the best SUV to buy around $100,000, I always have the same answer. You buy a 2020, 2021 Cayenne Turbo S because it's hybrid. You can drive 20 miles per day. It's super fast, super comfortable, super discreet, but in the same time, it's like, wow. And the technology is there. The sound system is great. So if you want like pretty much exotic daily driver on, I will not say on budget because it's a lot of money for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. That car is
acid
perfection.
Green calipers.
Yeah. No, please no.
Don't they all have acid green calipers?
I know, but let's repent them. I don't know. No, I'm not ready for that.
We got the e-hybrid. It's like acid green calipers.
Exactly.
Put it on there.
Yeah.
Sir, the car is red. I don't care. Acid green calipers. But yeah, those you can get a decent Turbo S e-hybrid for like $120 these days.
Yeah. And
That's a lot of car. For
It's
sure.
a lot of car. It's incredible. If you realize that the Urus is exactly the same car, 100% the same car, and it's 280. It's a no-brainer. It's the same platform, same engine, same not same technology, but maybe the technology in Porsche is better. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, because the Urus is not hybrid.
Yeah. The new one, the SC.
The new ship.
Oh yeah, the SC that looks like a Honda.
Yeah.
The HRV.
But I tried it last week.
I'm sure it's amazing.
It's fast?
It's fast.
Yeah,
it's
going to be super fast, but it looks like a CRV.
But if I had to do a bet, and we can go back to that, I will buy a S today or Performante used. I think on long term, that would be a better investment. Yeah, because the reality is, we go back to the same subject. Hybrid, electric, going to go back down in value a little faster.
There's going to be a curve. There'll be a point where the technology's and then it'll start to perfect, and people will be like, okay, this is the thing.
And you're going to have the same rebound that you see. It's just all shifted, right? So you get these naturally aspirated manual cars that are now shooting up in value because now everything's turbo, now we're even moving to everything's hybrid. So it's kind of that rubber band effect. A lot of people now go back and they want to search for the more raw experience. We'll just fast forward, and the turbo, or like the Performante, the Urus Performante, is going to be a more raw experience compared to the hybrid Urus 6 years from now. And people are going to look back at the Performante and go, wow, this is truly the ultimate Urus that was ever created, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Stiff suspension, crazy, everything's Alcantara, and then you got the turbo V8 without the assist. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
I'm assuming, this is me assuming, tell me I'm crazy here. You've driven like an SVJ before?
Yes, of course.
You're meaning to tell me that you can sit here, look me eye to eye, and tell me that you like driving this more than hearing that screaming V12?
It sounds even better. It's going to sound better now.
You think it sounds better?
Oh, yeah, with an exhaust, it sounds incredible. And don't get me wrong, I love the SVJ. It's incredible. And I know it's your favorite car. The issue with this clutch, and people ask me, what do you think about the Aventador? The Aventador is the best car on the planet, over 25 miles per hour. This is the worst car on the planet under 25 miles per hour. And the problem with Fastlane particularly, and
it's true.
Myself, is that we do a lot of traffic when we go to places. Right. I drive my car a lot. One of my best friends, Jamie, the owner of Arizona, give me his SV all the time. We trade cars once in a while. And the experience is incredible. That V12, I love it. It has an exhaust. It's raw. You feel comfortable with the car. The attention you're getting. And it's funny because sometimes I really love attention. Sometimes I drive a Turbo S. I do not want an attention. So this one is another subject.
Yeah, turn up the attention.
On and off. But the Aventador, I think, today is a really incredible investment. And I don't think the SVJ. I think today people should buy an Aventador S Spider. I think they went super down. And it's a really comfortable car. It's as good looking that the reality. My member Anwar and Omar, they are two brothers. They have one. It's really reliable. It's a little more comfortable. And I think right now they plateaued, and it's a car that's going to go back up really, really soon.
Beautiful that you said that.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful that you said that. I thought the same thing when I got mine. I was looking at it, and I was like, the value here, what it is, and I was like, give it some time. I think this is kind of like the bottom of what I consider the market.
Exactly.
I got mine for like high 3s at the time. So I feel like mine's an 18. So I was like, this is probably like the perfect sweet spot to be sitting in this car.
And when people ask me, my member, because they ask me every day, what should I buy? I say, buy Aventador after 17, 18, when the technology is better. When you have the Bluetooth, because people don't realize on the first generation, you don't have Bluetooth. And another thing, people tend to forget, this is a 12, 14 years old car now.
Crazy. Yeah.
This is, in the world of car. At that time, you had SLR. At that time, you had a car that are like, the technology changed a lot. And
a lot.
But the reality, I was telling you the story. I was at O'Gara's this morning. And a guy going to trade this car to go back to a SVJ. He said, I'm missing my single clutch. I want the rawness of the car to to be on my vein, to be on my back, to drive really fast. And I respect that 100%. If someone wants to buy an Aventador because they think it's more raw and, it's good. The difference, I'm going to leave him on the first corner and say bye-bye because this is incredible.
It can't keep up.
Yeah.
No matter what world, it can't keep up.
If we're on a track, I would think.
Yeah.
SVJ does have a pretty impressive Nürburgring time.
Exactly.
Because that fucking matters the whole
Right, of course. Hey, it matters when it matters, and it doesn't when it doesn't.
Exactly.
It matters when it's convenient to me. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, Lamborghini always likes to run a time on there, so I'm sure they'll throw the Revuelto around the ring at some point, and we'll see what happens.
I think it's going to be a little slower than a 296 or SF90. On the reality is the 296 is really fast around the racetrack because of how compact this is, but it's going to be really incredibly fast.
You really love that car, huh? 296, you really love that thing, huh?
Yes, so I was telling you offline, I wish a 296 was looking like a SF90. He had a truck space like the SF. I wish the SF90 had a truck space like the 296. We went on a road trip last year in Monaco with my members that had a 296. I mean, we had another car for our luggages, but we still had a lot of space. The car is scary fast. He handles so well. Maybe not as well as a 750, but he handles absolutely incredible. It's something I love. Think about rallies. The Google map is fond of me. So when we follow the direction on the Google map for a rally, it's fond of me. I don't get lost. On a lot of cars, I have to look right, so it's really dangerous. So having that display, the sound system is good, is really reliable, and I used no gas. I did 2 full tank for 4 days in Europe. So that's also something to consider. You don't have to stop every 100 miles because this car, I can guarantee after 100 miles, I will be fully out of gas if I drive around a racetrack or during a rally.
Doing anything.
Yeah.
So you actually like that Apple Maps right in front of your face?
I love it. Yeah.
You lose your tack.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't need
you still have it a little. I love it, but I think for a rally, and I'm talking truly for a rally, having your Google Map in front of you, it's really safe. And I do 30,000 miles per year on rallies. My co-pilots needs to be really on point because sometimes I open the road, and if you're missing a turn and you have 110 cars behind you, good luck. First of all, it's really dangerous, and your members are not happy on that aspect. So when I have a 296, I had a R8 back in the day. That's pretty much a 2-car. You have the screen in front of you. I loved it. I was really happy with it.
All right. We've always hated on that.
Yeah.
we drove a Ferrari Roma the other day for the first time, and that was like 7 months ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
We got in the car.
I saw the video.
You saw the video, right?
I saw the video.
We get in the car. We're trying to figure it out. We're looking at it. We have a weekend with the car, so we're trying to get into it. Next thing you know, I plug the phone in, and I'm looking at the center screen, and I'm like, and it never pops up. And then I look over, and Gavin's like, down center lane. I look at it, and I go, where the fuck happened? Where's the tachometer? Where's? I can't even see where my RPMs are at. I'm shifting blindly, just watching. Make a left in 0.3 miles.
It's not really loud enough to hear when you're supposed to shift.
Exactly, yeah.
But you can press the button and go back to the Ferrari screen. So if you don't want it, you do not need to have it. I tell you something. It took me without a joke. It took me without a joke 3 months to understand the tech of the 296. And when it clicked, I realized that it was actually really smart.
Yeah.
The steering wheel is what I like the most.
Yeah. Yes, but the problem with the 296, the button half of the time are not working, so you have to press 5-6 times. So it's actually pretty dangerous, especially on a drive. Now they are changing it. So on the new model, like the 12 cylinders and everything, and per Sangue, it's a semi touch button because they had so many complaints from customers. They're actually listening to their customers sometimes.
Ferrari's listening to their customers.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Occasionally.
Don't get too ahead of yourself.
Yeah, that's a really interesting subject.
Who listens to their customers the most, do you think?
I will say Lamborghini listen a lot.
Lamborghini?
Because I heard feedback from member gave, and they integrate that in the new car. McLaren has been really on point with that, especially, the reliability of McLaren has been a struggle, and it's things that they changed a lot, and I know they doing that. I think the brand who are listening the least their customer today is probably Porsche.
Really?
Yes.
Now you're saying the good
yeah.
shit.
So Porsche, I think, has a terrible issue in US about the dealership network.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. I had 5-6 Porsche in my life. I'm a hardcore fan of Porsche, love the brand. I don't know if I love the history because it's pretty dark, but the car and all the rally did, it's incredible. You cannot get a car at MSRP if you're a top client. So, except if you are part of the 918 program, and to explain that a little to everybody, when you were part of the 918 program, you could get any car for the pretty much 5, 7, 10 years at MSRP. So all the people who bought 918 made millions of dollars flipping those cars. Mm-hmm. But someone like me, someone like my friend who was LaFerrari, who's top-notch client from Ferrari, cannot get cars at MSRP. I only know 2 dealers in US that are doing that, is one in Santa Barbara and one in Salt Lake. They don't sell over sticker, and this way Porsche are giving them more allocation. And right now, what happened with the GT3? They increased the price because they wanted to say to the dealer, you see, you sell over MSRP. So who is paying at the end of the day is the customers. And the problem with the franchise model in US, they cannot force their franchisee to put the price that should be the price. If you buy a Rolex, if you buy, I don't know, a Patek, whatever, the price is a price. A dealer could make 10 times more money flipping them. They are not doing them, and that's protecting the brand. The problem with Porsche today, I listen a lot to your podcast. A lot of people say the most overrated car is the GT3 RS. At $400,000-$500,000, that's for sure. You can get an Aventador, you can get an SF90. But if you look at it at $300,000, the GT3 RS is magical.
I think it's like $280 base price, right?
$280. So you spec it to do the YSAT package, $320.
Right, you're
That's
right over the threes.
a really incredible car. The problem, they're really squeezing the juice of their customers, and after it's just going to be a flip game. And I'm sad because I think across all our location, we maybe have 4, 5 992 GT3 RS because people leave them as an investment in their garage, scared to put miles for the devaluation. And it's a car that should be on the road all the time. Our dealer in San Diego, for example, 90% of their GT3 RS or their touring and everything are going to different states. So they're losing on the service, they're losing on the local promotion, but they don't care because they're thinking to make $100,000 over sticker, $150 over sticker, and it's losing the relationship. And I have so many members that are burned out from Porsche because they bought a lot of cars all their life and they cannot get any cars. We can talk about Ferrari, it's a different subject. Ferrari, if you play the game, it's going to cost you millions of dollars to play the game.
You have to play the game.
But if you play the game, for example, like my friend who was LaFerrari I was with all day, he's getting every cars. It's a game to play. You follow the game, you're getting rewarded. And it's a hard game. For example, for the FAD.
Yeah, what is the game?
So you need to buy everything.
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 Multiple. Sometimes multiple.
Multiple. They don't like too many because on the flip side. But you need to buy everything. Mm-hmm. You need to keep them 6 months and 1 day, except special models. For example, the Paris Sanguet, I think you have to keep it 1 year. And you need to have 1 or 2 cars per categories. For example, to get the F80, the new one, you need to own a LaFerrari, probably a Aperta, and you need to own, and maybe I'm wrong, but between 12 to 14 Ferraris currently. So if you don't have all those cars, they don't qualify you. He's getting the new SF90 X6. And today we went to his hangar. I show you the hangar, absolutely incredible. And I say, why you still have your SF90 Spider? He say, I need to keep it to get my X6. If I sell it, they will remove from my collection. What is interesting, even those top customers, sometimes they could be a little frustrated because the car can be there in 4 or 5 years. You have to put huge deposit. I had a story where I put a deposit and after 2-3 years, you don't have the car. But at the inverse, he loves Ferrari and he knows if he's playing the game, he's going to be rewarded on the cars. He bought 296, he's going to get the Scuderia Pista, whatever they're going to call it, version, because he knows doing the game, you know it. Porsche, you can play the best game. You buy a 5 Taycan, you buy a 2 Cayman. I don't know what else. You're never going to get a GT3 RS.
You're saying rewarded in what sense, though?
You're getting the exclusive cars.
You get the allocation. Because in other ways, you're not getting rewarded. Like your friend probably brought his SF90 at the hype of the market. He probably paid $700,000-800,000 for that.
Yes, but think about it.
That's a $400,000 product now.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the Roma. The Pro Sangha is going to do the same thing eventually. All those cars that are selling crazy, they're going to.
So yes and no, because think about it also this way. On the SF90, first of all, on his coupe, kept it 6 months and 1 day. He bought it probably 3 years ago. At that time, it was still a hot car.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't make money, but maybe he made a couple dollars, so he was fine. On the Spider today, he's still fine because he has a really cool spec, matte black, satin black. He has the carbon seats and everything. He's going to lose maybe 50, 100, 150, but he's going to get the X6. Might get $200,000-300,000 profit into it. Look at the 812 Comp. He had the 812 regular, he had the GTS version, he got the Comp. The Comp, you're making $1 million profit. He was telling me a story this morning. He was at Ferrari of Beverly Hills, and the service manager told him that someone arrived and said, hey, if this gentleman wants to sell his 812 competition, I buy it for $1 million. And he called him and he told him the story. He said, $1 million over, right? And he said, no, $1 million. He said, call back your customer. And he said, if he finds one at $1 million, I buy it for $1.1 million. So the reality is those markets are crazy. And let's talk on the SP3. SP3, I think $3-4 million. It's probably going to be able to sell it for $8-9 million. So you make so much money.
SP3.
But you need to have a portfolio of $10, $15, $20 million and rolling money over to Ferrari all the time.
How many? Do you know how many they made of those?
The
SP3?
No, I don't want to give you. But the F80, they're going to make a lot of people mad because they are making a lot of them.
Yeah, they're making a good chunk.
So how much is a good chunk? Do we know?
Like 800 of them. So, and you're going to have the Spider version coming.
800 coupes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So we don't even know.
We don't even know. Yet. Probably 500 Apertas. Probably.
And I tell you something, I got a lot of members who got the allocation. And I got actually pretty surprised. I think I have 5-6 members getting the F80 around the world.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So if you play the game with Ferrari, like you like the brand, you don't like the brand, if you play the game, you're going to do it. A member called me yesterday, Mark, and 2 days ago, sorry, and he said, it's Mark. I'm like, yeah. He said, they just give me an allocation for SF90 X6. Should I get it? I'm like, I'm not your banker. And he said, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, how much it is? He said, $1 million, but probably 1.1, 1.2 with it. And I'm like, do you realize if you say no to this car, they're not going to offer you more cars in the future, and it's going to be one of the dopest cars on the planet? He was like, yeah, fine, I'm going to get it. So he called me this morning again. He was like, I got the car. So it's going to come in 1 or 2 years, and that's going to be a fantastic car. And I think one of the most underrated car on the planet, as much as I will not own one right now, is a SF90. You know, yes, it's a $700,000-800,000 car that is going to be $400. But when you're going to be able to get a SF90, 1,000 horsepower, around $350,000 to $400,000.
Right now, at those prices, that's fucking ridiculous.
And think about it, they stopped it. So right now they're still doing Spider, but the coupe is over. So when people are going to realize that it's not that many in the market, I'm telling you, and mark my word, we're going to redo a podcast in 5 to 10 years. That car will be a $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 car, because the reality, it's a really, really good car. It's feel a little, you don't really feel the power. This is, I think, the problem compared to the 296. But the reality, this is a hyper car on budget for $350,000 to $400,000 when he will get there, and he will get there.
It's like the Corvette ZR1.
Yeah.
That's a budget hypercar.
The budget hypercar for sure.
That's for 200,000.
Yeah, that's the budget hypercar. Basically comes in a Walmart bag.
It literally does. Yeah. Kmart bag.
Kmart, come on, bro. Big lots.
What is your opinion about Corvettes? I'm genuinely curious.
I think it's great cars. The technology is amazing. It's a really, really good car if you want to get into the car community, in the car world. As a whole, and as all my chapter decision, we are not accepting Corvette at the moment. We're probably going to accept the 1,000 horsepower one. And the problem, every time we had issues, bad comments, bad messages, usually is Corvette owners for some reason. I don't understand why. I think to get into the car world, this is an incredible car. And, we have two vintage here next to us. I mean, look at this beauty. And that's really incredible. The problem is people don't realize it's also cars that now is devaluing a lot. I think because we talk a lot about investment, and long term, if you buy $100,000 Corvette, it's going to be $60,000 at some point. So I think with your money, you can do a little better. The financing not going to be a big difference, but it's good looking, it's reliable, it's American made, it's great. But I rather to have a Ford GT in fast lane. That's our DNA. We have a lot of them. I have a member in San Diego who has four. Sometimes
four GTs?
Four, because he thinks it was one of the best investment. He bought them for 1 million, 1.1. He has different version. I will show you the picture after. And he thinks that long term he will be a $2 million car. So he's playing the game, and I think that's a really incredible car. We go back to it. It's a V6, but still good looking, really reliable. The suspension when you go down and you put it on sports mode is great. And let's talk about the attention on the road.
It's one of the best looking cars.
And one of the comments I get online, because we get a lot of negative comments on the Corvette and everything, a lot of people say, oh, we don't understand why you don't accept Corvette, but you accept Ford GTs.
What?
So people who drive Corvette think they compare to Ford GTs. About one time per week.
No
So
way.
it's to tell you, yes. So that's the issue that we have about it is bringing some issue in the Corvette
Would
world.
you take a Dodge Viper owner?
At the moment, we're going to roll that back. So we're not, but the best version is just incredible, and we're starting to accept them now. If you're talking about 08, 09, those one, not at the moment, but
ACRs.
the ACRs, yes. We had one of our members in DC has 10 cars, and was a little frustrated about the ACR. He said, can I bring my ACR? Can I bring my ACR? And now we are accepting his ACR because the reality is one of the best looking car. Let's talk about investment is going to skyrocket on the long term. And I think, the brand right now, Dodge is struggling, and I think they should start to bring back hypercar like Vipers.
They're trying to go all electric. They don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They can't pick a direction.
They're being led by a blind chicken.
They are.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's owned by a French brand, so they don't know where they are going. So
You think Fiat knows what Americans want
no.
from muscle cars?
Yes, it's the same. Stellantis is a huge, are in huge trouble right now, and that's for sure. And I think Dodge should bring back what they are made for. Those big V8, like those drag race. That is the DNA of the brand. Don't try to change for it to electric. Is not where you want to go.
No.
Mm-hmm. No. That's crazy. Yeah, just go to Rome for a couple days. Look at how tiny all the cars are. Look at how people drive there, and then think, do you want someone designing cars for this? To design cars for people in Detroit?
People with 500 credit scores.
People in Kansas? No shot.
And that's
bad call.
And that's the issue. We are American. We love those big engine, and that's really where he should go back. And I wanted to buy for example, the Dodge Challenger. I would have loved to own one of those cars. I think it's incredible, and if you have a big engine into it, it's fun.
Like a demon.
Yeah.
A demon.
I wish the reputation wasn't so bad.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because again, it's the same thing like he said about the Corvette owners. It's not that the car, the stigmatism, anything. It's the barrier to entry. So like the reason why the person is so like that is because you can get a Corvette for less than $100K. So the person that can afford that compared to somebody who's only going to be in a 296 and SF90.
It's more
And,
like
and don't
the
get me wrong,
Cosmos.
we have sometimes people in Ferrari who are entitled and we realize it's not the right fit. So the car doesn't automatically define you. I know a lot of good people who drive Corvette, a lot of them. It's just, it's been a vote. We have a lot of owners between all the chapters, and we realized every time we had issues was with Corvette owners. And we had a big issue when we started Fastlane the first year. I will not go deep into it, but we were debating to accept them. We took one to a rally, and the guy was literally driving like a maniac. And we realized that day we needed to protect the brand. Also, it's a lot of liability for us to drive, even if we have, police escort. We not racing on the street. We really need to protect our members and Fast and Drive.
100%.
Oh, of course.
That's it. Without members, you have nothing. So that's your number one asset.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my thing is, when you guys do drives, what's the biggest group of people you guys have had in one?
120 last year for the Christmas party.
It's a lot of cars.
It's a lot of cars. I think the best numbers, if you believe so, is 15. But if we do 15, we are not profitable. That's another subject. And actually, you create more connection when you are 15. For me, a sweet spot between having fun, having a good event, being impressive and everything is between 35 to 55. After 55, you have to break the thing in 3 groups. And after is really scary on the road. The police are more there. We are friends with the police, so we're raising a lot of money for them. We're doing things with them, but we want to be on a good eye, and that is a little the
old
issue
1099
sometimes.
Foundation.
Yeah,
OG
exactly.
1099.
Yeah,
1099.
Get in good.
Yeah.
Tell me this. In 7 years of Fast Lane Drive, what's been your favorite memory?
So many meeting people, but the reality, I think.
Outside of meeting people.
Yeah,
Clem's just experience.
No, but we had a lot of.
ranges.
I can give you a lot of them. The first time we went to Scottsdale, we took a private jet with 16 members. So it was like, wow, like what an experience. That was sick. When we opened Miami, that has been a huge accomplishment because the first event in Miami was perfection. I was like, nothing was wrong. Everything was great. I didn't have to plan the event, so I had fun. The first one in Monaco, we had a Bugatti Chiron Sport on the port of Monaco. You should put the video on that, but we had I think 40 cars in the port of Monaco. I was like, right now we really created something special and something different. And the last year when we were in this canyon and I was with Nicole, I have a video and I'm like, this is just incredible. This memory will be for the rest of my life. Driving with your friend, be with my girlfriend, laughing, having fun, and just sharing this moment with someone you love. My dad is really involved in Fastlane Monaco. So I was with my family, I was with my girlfriend, I was with my friend. I was really deeply into it. So that really important. I had another one that was incredible. We did a sick drive in Malibu. I was with my business partner, hugging, and we went to Nobu that day, and we were like, what a drive, was incredible. And that reflect a lot of time. So sometimes it's hard. I'm not giving you wrong. I had a 2-3 drive that has been particularly complicated. People see the bright side, but for example, a year ago, the yacht that we had 2 yachts. One of the 2 yachts broke down 10 minutes before the event.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So
that
the
does
stress level that I had was really, really complicated to a level you cannot imagine, because you have to refund every people, you put yourself in trouble, you make your member unhappy. With all our connection, we managed to find a second yacht in 1 hour.
Wow.
Magical. This year, I was in France, had a family emergency. I had to go back in August. And our second yacht, this year we only had 1 yacht. And the yacht, for some reason, had to go back to Mexico. And so we had 3 yachts, sorry. But the major yacht that was supposed to hold everybody had to go back. So 1 week before the event, again, no yacht. And this year, it took us 1 full week to find a yacht. We found the yacht the night before the event. We had to bring it from Newport. Was a 95 feet azimuth, and we got blessed. And sometimes people don't see on the back of the scene, it can be really stressful and complicated.
Yeah.
I can't imagine getting ready for an event in Monaco.
Yeah.
You're sitting there and you're like, I don't have my main carrier going to be that.
Does driving a LaFerrari on Angeles Crest just make it all worth it, though?
So let's talk about that. I'm taking a second.
That might be like the just pinnacle dream. LaFerrari on Angeles Crest.
That's peak experience right there.
For Gavin, at least. I don't know if I'd pick. Would I pick something else? Give me anything on Angeles Crest.
So the member who gave me his car for the rally, I was driving with him, obviously, but it became one of my closest friends. Incredible person. I can call him at 2 a.m., always here for me. Really, really amazing person. And he said, what do you think if I bring LaFerrari this weekend for Fastlane? And I didn't want to push it too hard. He was debating to bring the SP2. And we go to have lunch with all our friends in Beverly Hills, and he bring the car. And he said, do you want to bring it this weekend? I'm like, that will put the club to a level which is incredible, because there are a lot of people who have hypercars, they don't drive it. But we have a lot of, for example, the 918, we have 6 or 7 recurringly on rallies. And having a LaFerrari with, all our car, SVJ and everything, will be special. So he brings it. And we go drive a little on rodeo before, the attention you get and everything. And middle of the rally, he said, I'm driving my 296 and I'm with my girlfriend and with a friend. So he looked at me and said, now you have to drive it. And I'm like, I'm not going to drive your car. He said, of course you have to drive it. You have to try it, and maybe I'm not going to bring it back. You have to. So we trade cars. My girlfriend takes the 296. I take the LaFerrari. And we start to drive it. And I'm like, I don't realize. And it's an adjustable steering wheel. So first of all, it's something really special into it. And the power is at the opposite of the Revuelto. You have the power at the end. So at the beginning, I'm really scared. You're like, I'm driving a $4.5 million car. Doesn't have too many miles. It's a one-owner car. I got it brand new. And we got it, and he's like, you're not going to drive like a grandma. Push the car. And what is really interesting about the whole thing, when you pass 10, 15 minutes and you realize that it's a car and it needs to be driven the right way, and you push it a little, respecting the speed limit, obviously, this is one of the best experiences in my life. And I drove a lot of other cars. I drove a Chiron. I drove... he has something for what he represents, for the legacy of Ferrari, for the legacy of Michael Schumacher, who is one of my biggest heroes. You realize this is just incredible and perfection. Fun story, it was 120 degrees, and the AC broke that day. So we arrive, I'm in full sweat for everything, and someone from my team arrived and said, how was it to drive LaFerrari? And you have this T-shirt of me turning, where I'm in full sweat with everything, and I was like, I could not stop laughing. And my girlfriend, who was a little sad because she didn't spend the rest of the rally with me, she told me, I never seen you so happy after an event. So, car makes you happy, and you have to remember the small child that you were back in the day, that when you were dreaming about a car and you had a poster in your bedroom, that's the day. And for me, the F40, the F50, the Enzo, the LaFerrari represent something really unique. Growing up with Michael Schumacher and watching him become world champion so many times, I was a huge fan. And I'm a multi-brand person. I'm not a Ferrari person, not a Porsche person. I have everything. But for Formula One, I'm a hardcore fan of Ferrari, of Michael Schumacher, and of Charles Leclerc. You know what they are, what we represent.
No love for science?
I love science, and I'm actually, it's another debate. We're not going to talk too much about that. Here where we have right now, they have the 2 LaFerrari of Lewis Hamilton. He cannot drive them until next year. So I'm happy about Lewis Hamilton, and I'm sad for what happened to Carlos Sainz. I was really excited for the victory couple weeks ago. Made me emotional. So I love him, but you need to project to the future. So for everything that he represented, that was great. And I'm going to the subject of the multi-brand. I always say, when people say, oh, I'm hardcore fan Lamborghini, I'm hardcore fan Porsche, I'm hardcore fan McLaren, I say, interesting. Are those brands loyal to you? So that's a really good question. And Porsche, it's hard. Ferrari, they are if you spend a lot. McLaren, they might be a little more, and Lamborghini. So that's why I think it's really open to be multi-brand and not just focus on one brand. I could drive any brand if they come with a cool model, and you need to be able to adapt to the brand. This car, I never thought I would drive a Lamborghini 10 years ago, and now it's my favorite car on the planet. When I saw the Revuelto coming out, I say, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to work every day so hard of my life, but I need to have that in my garage. And that's the aspect on cars that I love the most. So driving LaFerrari, to go back into it, the little Clement, when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, would have dreamed to be there that day, and it made me so happy I did it.
Yeah, what an experience.
Yeah.
What you just described is just being a fan.
Being a fan. Of cars.
Hey, you can root for the Dallas Cowboys. Are they loyal to me? Nope. Haven't won since, the year I was born. So, but it is what it is, You're just a fan. I'm a Lamborghini fan.
Yeah.
Will they treat me wrong one day? Maybe so. But screw Ferrari. Just kidding.
McLaren all the way.
McLaren all the way. I mean, I love.
But
all
you drive
cars.
a Lamborghini, so you see.
I've had all three.
Yeah.
I've had Ferrari, I've had McLaren, I've had Lambo. McLaren's the best.
I tell you something. When people ask me what's the best car on the planet right now, it's a 750.
750.
Oh, this car is perfection. They change almost all the car compared to say 765.
Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, the sound system is really good. The Senna seats are good, but the precision on the steering wheel, the car goes exactly where you go.
This little module tracking
and
where you change the modes, and it's literally just right here. It's such an intelligent design. It's crazy.
And it drives. It's scary fast. On the racetrack is incredible. Two issues with McLaren. The devaluation. So you buy a 750 for 420 or 380, it's going to be 300 after 6 months.
Ouch.
And the reliability. However, if you drive your McLaren a lot, you will not have issues. The problem with McLaren, when people say I have issues, is usually people who leave them in their garage.
Sitting, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 720 for about 7 months. I put like 7,000 miles in the 7-8 months, and that car was pristine.
Yeah.
No problems, no nothing.
Gotta drive it. It's what everyone says.
That's it.
I remember owner of Arizona Las, he owned the same as Scott Disick. He built the one as Scott Disick. He has a huge spoiler into it. I never seen a car with so much attention in my life. And it's just incredible. He just has one issue with it. He cannot bring it to other chapters because it doesn't fit on the truck.
What car?
The 720.
Oh, he's got a crazy build
prepared.
720.
Yeah, it's crazy build. And this car, if you build it, is just next level incredible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
some of
will.
the 720 kits look
Wild.
insane.
And I
It's
will
such a
probably
perfect
buy
platform.
when they are at 280, 290, 300. I will buy a 750. It's just perfection. When people ask me today, what should I buy for different investment? I say I think the best purchase right now, long term, is actually a 600 LT Spider or coupe with a roof coupe.
100%.
Yeah, talk about a more perfect car for $200,000.
Not even 200. 190.
Yeah, but for a good spec, for a good Spider, is 220.
For good spec.
Yeah.
For good spec.
Roof scoop.
Yeah, but I like Spider
Not on
cars.
Spider,
So
Yeah, that's the debate. Do you want to spend $100,000 more for the roof scoop car, or do you want your top to come down?
a top to come down.
I'd rather the top.
100%.
There's the two debates. Resale value, you're
Yeah.
getting the roof scoop. Enjoyment, you're getting the Spider.
Well, I think
Exactly.
both. I think they'll both go up. Maybe
You
it
know
won't
what
go
you
up
do?
as much, but relatively, you're paying $100,000 more for the roof scoop. So will it go up? Well, the Spider will go up too, but you paid $100,000 less for it, or $80,000 less. So they're both going up. Maybe you might end up making the same.
The thing, I think you need to get it, a 600 LT Spider with a Senna seat. I'm obsessed, I was telling you before, with those Senna seats. I think they all perfectly, it's so pretty, so I love it. One of my dream cars, the Senna. That is for, I think right now, it's one of the underrated car. on the market. If you look at it, it's a hypercar. The presence that he has on the road is incredible. My member Russell just got one. I have a member who brings his a lot in Fastlane. The presence that he has is incredible. It's a different engine. He has no hybrid, so the engine is just perfection. Of course, $1 million, a lot of 99% of people say it's untouchable. But if you look on the hypercar world, I think if you have $1 million right now as the Ford GT, buy a Senna. Long term, they will be $1.5-2 million, and they're not going to get. They're not going to make 10 of them. They made the name Senna. They're not going to call it Senna 2, Senna 3. So just the name is so iconic. The legacy that he has from Ayrton Senna is just next level. And I know you had the founder of Gold Rush couple months ago, but his business partner has a white and red one. We're not going to say what brand of cigarettes. This car, I saw it one time, is absolutely incredible on the road. And I know he did the rally for McLaren owners. Oh, that's a car.
It's crazy.
I have a cool story about F1, about McLaren, if you want one.
Let's hear it.
So one of my members, Ian, we go back to it, the guy who opened Arizona, his dad had F1, bought it for $600,000-$700,000 brand new, and drove the car for 7-10 years, took the car to Europe, did the rally with all the F1 owners, and loved the car to death. And at some point he said, it might be time to sell it. So he sold it for, I think, $10, $11, $12 million, something crazy. And I said, do you regret selling it at that price? Because today it's 20, 22, 23. He said, no, the car was costing me $1 million per year. So you have one service maintenance around the world, one technician. Now they have a few more. It's a BMW technician, as you know. And the maintenance was really expensive. And he said, I did so well with this car. I made incredible people. We go back to it with the connection of your car. I enjoy driving it. I enjoy owning it. And he said, I wanted to let it go to someone that will use it more than me. So it was one of the best decisions. And Larry is incredible. He had so many stories about this car. So just loved it.
Yeah. Crazy car.
It's just crazy to think the appreciation of that fucking thing.
It is crazy.
To think, like, in the time you think mentally you're buying something, you go into it knowing that one day it's going to be worth $10-20 million.
And I have another story about it. One of my member, I was telling you, he does donuts with SLR on gravel. He daily drives the F40 on Fastlane Drive. He had to change 2 times the tires during a rally in Monaco. On his Carrera GT. His Carrera GT has so many miles, it's incredible. And I was telling him, what's your favorite car on the planet? And he said, for me, it's a F40. One time, I got to drive it like I wanted when it was still $6-7 million. And he said it was pretty much F40 on steroids. And he said F40 on steroids.
What was an F40 on steroids?
The F1 McLaren.
Oh, the McLaren.
And he said, today it's sad because we're in a world where people will never let me drive it the way it should be. And he said, when you drive this car, like if it was not something crazy, like we go back to LaFerrari at the beginning, I was scared. When you represent, it's okay. And he said, if you can drive this car like crazy, this is probably the best vintage car on the planet. And yet it's so many speculation, price on it. It's because it's truly an amazing car.
Yeah, I mean, a car that's selling for $15 to $20 million, there's a reason it's selling.
Exactly.
I mean, I know there's only, like 79 of them or something.
Yeah.
It's like very low. It's under 100. So that's a big part of it, obviously. But insane cars. I mean, there's cars that there's less of them, classic cars, right? But they don't sell for that much. No.
So
because that car's so insane.
What is my next dream? I had a lot of crazy cars at Fastlane, pretty much everything you can dream of. Not a F1. So if you're listening and you have a F1, join it at Fastlane. You will make my dream come true. And I promise I will not ask you to drive the car. Just having it on a rally will be just such a cool experience.
So you should let him drive the car.
Yeah, it's fine. I can be on the right seat or the left seat. And
can I have the other seat?
Exactly.
I'll drive that shit.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, dude, that's
You will need a good insurance. I will not be able to. Can you imagine like the insurance if something happened? That would be crazy.
That's an umbrella commercial policy
Yeah.
you've never seen before.
Exactly.
That's fucking
for real.
That's a
Yeah,
ridiculous shit.
that's tough. You sign in a waiver for that one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Maybe on the
You hit a what?
racetrack or
A
but
squirrel.
yeah, it's valuing too much.
Can you imagine that? Next thing you know, you're in somewhere, you're in LA, and you hit one, and you call Geico. You're like, hey, I hit a McLaren F1. No, you hit a what?
Oh,
you're done.
I can't. Well, I mean,
Cooked.
Geico's they're only covering your
Yeah,
policy max.
limits. That's it.
Then it's
You're
it.
done.
And you see, there is one that is always in Monterrey, the white one. That guy drives it a lot. So, some of them are actually still driving the cars, they're still doing rallies. And I think that's just incredible because those cars are not made to be in a parking. They are made to be on the road. And that's what we love with Fastlane. Our members are driving their cars.
We're looking at a car right now, right over there. It's designed by the same designer. It's
Yeah.
the F1.
Exactly.
Gordon Murray.
I
The
think
legend.
he's one of the most underrated car on the planet.
The SLR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He-
SLR
agree.
off camera, since you can't see behind the
It's
camera, obviously.
ridiculous.
The
But
SLR.
think
SLR
about
is
it.
gorgeous.
It's not, it's a lot of money, but it's not that expensive. And it's
No.
still a lot of them in the market.
That's why
And
Manny Coachman has like 10
so
of them.
many. Yeah.
Thinks they're going to go up in value.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Manny.
But he had them for a long time, so he might wait 20 more years because people are still not there to realize
What it is.
how it is.
The masterpiece that it really is.
Maybe right now he will go viral and we're going to make the market go crazy.
Yeah. And this was
Right.
this was a $450,000 car when it came out,
Yeah.
which at that time was so expensive. Because you're talking about the Mercy was probably 100,000 less than that.
Yeah.
And he's the
We're
same
looking at
price
05,
today.
06. CGT was $100,000 less than that. 4GT was $300,000 less than that.
I think it's just the awareness. That's all that it is.
Yeah. When that thing came out, it was the most expensive car on the market.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Too far ahead of its time.
Yeah. They're pretty, there's nothing really like them. It's just insane looking car. Shout out Gordon Murray for designing some amazing cars. The new T50. I can't
Exactly.
even imagine how. It's going to be a sick car.
Don't even get me started on that. It's a whole different ballpark.
Yeah.
So
I don't
question
think it's a very
about
pretty car, but
about the subject we wanted to cover, the Turbo S.
Let's talk about it. Man. What do
Why you
want to
don't
talk
like them?
about? Why?
Yes.
It's not that I don't think I don't like them.
I know, of course.
I don't
but-
like the car. What I don't like is what people think it is.
Okay.
And that's my problem. It's reliable. It's fast. It's perfect. It's engineering masterpiece. It is everything that you would want from a perfect product of a $250,000 car. But it doesn't fit the excitement experience that a McLaren, Ferrari, or Lamborghini at the same price point gives you.
Okay, but I like this car so much for everything you said.
I get
so I had four. I had
you have two cars.
Yeah.
You have this car.
yeah,
And you have the Turbo S.
So
So that makes sense. It's the people that go, no, like Turbo S is so much better than the Revuelto. I'd
Exactly.
rather have a Turbo
no.
S.
That's absolutely not. But I had a no, I had a 996, 2001. Long story. I bought the car for $28,000. Drove it. I bought it at 70,000 miles. Sold it with 130. Made $6,000. We're talking about long time ago. I start my marketing agency, start to be successful. I buy a 997 convertible, 2009, so it's the last year of the phase one. And bought the car for 65, helped me so much with business. We don't have Fastlane at that time. And bought that car for 65, drove it for 2 years, sold it with 90,000 miles, made $20,000 on the car. Then bought the big boy, 991 Turbo S, is when we started Fastlane. So really a sentimental value into it. And, because of this particular car, I met so many people. I am where I am today in this life. And then right now, I have a 992.1. I mean, we still don't have the 0.2, but my car has 720 horsepower. I had a Gentani exhaust we just changed for F1 Motorsport. And I'm going to explain you why I love Turbo S so much. Number one, when I grew up, my favorite movie was Bad Boy. So I grew up watching Bad Boy and say, one day I will have this
Well,
car.
that one is sick.
Yeah, I still didn't own one. They are untouchable right now. I will dream to have a 993 Turbo S, But for $500,000, I'd rather to have this. The second thing, technology is amazing, reliable, discreet. So when you drive hypercar, you're getting so much attention. When you do long rally, so if I do a rally with Fastlane for 3-4 days, I can have my luggages in the back, my luggages in the front. The sound system is amazing. The technology is amazing. I know no matter what, I'm going to finish the rally. So sometimes with those cars, you're like, I don't know if it's going to make the rally. Ferrari had so many stories with my F12, we had to ship the car back.
The F12?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's the prime I was not driving the car in North. So the V12 needs to be used all the time. Yeah. And the good thing with the Turbo S, you smoke everybody. So my member, Russell, a couple of weeks ago, he had his roof open. I had my roof open, but it's way bigger. My car is prepared. We did a drag race, closed road. I smoked him. He has a 918. It's a $2 million car. And he was like, yeah, he was trying to find an excuse. He was like, yeah, but your car is 2022. My car is 2015. It's not the same. Can you imagine? It's like, for $250,000, this is the fastest car you can get. And what I love the most about it, I bought the car. It's my personal car. I bought the car for $247,000 April 2022. Today, 2 years later, 11,000 miles or 12,000 miles later, can sell the car for $260,000. So they are stable. The new one going to be probably hybrid, going to be $350,000 to $400,000. So I know money-wise, I'm fine for life. I bought this car with 2.2% APR, so I build equity like crazy in the car, and it's just perfection. That's the reality. So I get it. If you get one car, I mean, that might be the perfect car if you get one car for the rest of your life. But I get it. If you have the choice between that, a 720, a Revuelto, an Aventador, get the rest, because that's a real exotic. If you have to choose one car for the rest of your life who does everything,
Turbo S.
Turbo S. And something cool with the Turbo S is 4-wheel drive. You can go to the snow. You can do things with the Turbo S that are really unique.
You can tell he's excited to come on and talk about this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think I mostly agree with, I don't know, I'm not even worried about you. I think I mostly agree with all of that.
From both sides.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for the Turbo S is it's not if you get one car for the rest of your life, but if you're picking one fun car, right?
Exactly.
So it's like a lot of, if that's your weekend car, if you will, is you got whatever your daily, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to go get one fun car, and then it's the Turbo S. No, the Turbo S should be the daily, where the Revuelto is the weekend car.
So that's a good subject. When I see my really successful members in Fastlane Drive, really common trait. Usually they drive a pickup truck as daily drivers.
Raptor R?
Raptor R or like a Denali, you will be surprised, or something that is more discreet. Of course, they have other cars. The other daily driver usually is a Turbo S, and then they have the crazy car. And the Turbo S, as a daily driver, an exotic car as daily driver, you can go to the racetrack as you can go to dinner with your wife, be comfortable. Don't forget, if you are married, you are in a relationship, those cars a lot of time are not really comfortable. Also with the Turbo S, you can bring your kids to school, you can put groceries in the back, is something that is really special about the Turbo S.
Too.
It's four-seater on insurance.
That's the part that I don't like, though.
Yeah, but I love it.
We like attention.
We like attention over here.
Exactly, but
That's why we talk on the internet.
In this world today, you have to be careful. I'm scared when I'm driving this car sometime around LA.
Because people start filming you, and then they start swerving because they're not actually paying attention.
And it's not sometimes really safe also, so that the problem. And the Turbo S, what I like when people come talk to me, usually is hardcore people, a fan of the brand. So the people that I'm going to bring in Fastlane with the Turbo S going to be big Porsche fan. But sometimes they are so fan that they rather to go to the Porsche Club than Fastlane Drive because it's just a brand. Here is you can talk to everybody. They're all going to respect you no matter what. It's just absolutely insane.
This is a one-on-one, though.
I got to say, too,
hit me.
I saw a GT3 RS 992.
Here?
Not on the highway the other day.
Oh, yes.
The back of that car on the road, it looks so good. That wing that's a perfect wing, I gotta say.
So right now they're going down a lot. You find them for between 50 to 75 over.
Yeah.
Because they build a lot of them, and a lot of dealers realize that they cannot sell it. When you're going to be close to 25, 50 over, this car going to be magical. It's not fast. People need to understand. It's really fast on the canyon, really fast on racetrack, but it's not like this scary fast or scary fast like a 750. But it is just going to be perfection at that price when we get there.
Best looking 911 to ever hit the road.
I maybe except the turbo from Bad Boy.
Hey, that's a sexy car.
That scene when they're at the airport, they drive fast, and they have the bad guys following them, and there are three in the car. I was like a kid, and I saw that movie 50 times, and I was like, one day I will have a Turbo S.
Martin Lawrence spills his fries in the sea.
Exactly. And after they put the hair scoop on the side, and that is also the difference between a regular Carrera and a Turbo S or a GT3 S. We know those side one are pointless today, but just having them, this look, how it is perfect. Also in California, a Turbo S is good for another reason. Our roads are so destroyed that it's actually a car that you can drive without crying all the time. I hit 2 potholes coming here. I was like, no.
That hurts. That hurts the interior.
Exactly.
It makes a loud noise.
Yeah. And the Porsche, that is like, oh, whatever.
I think we got to wind down with our questions.
Yeah.
Let's do it. He's ready for him.
Yeah.
I know he's ready for him.
Yes.
He's been dialed in.
He's ready.
I know.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me in the delivery.
I love it.
What's the most overrated car today?
We talk a lot about it. I wanted to prepare this question, and it's a really hard question to do. I listened Parker last week. I kind of understand his point of view on the SVJ. For me, the most overrated car today on the planet is a Pagani.
Pagani?
Yes.
What?
Woo!
Yes.
Oh, Clem, let's hear this bullshit. Go ahead.
I'm going to explain you why. For $3-4 million, you're going to have a Bugatti that you can drive all the time around. Every Pagani owner that I know are leaving the car in a museum, in their garage, in their living room.
Where do you put a Picasso?
It's art.
Yes.
Do you drive a Picasso?
You're going to put the Mona Lisa on the road? No.
I thought you guys were about driving, not about looking the car.
This is more than a car,
and
a Pagani.
I agree. So the car looks amazing. On the racetrack, they don't even test the car because they know it's really slow. So the Revuelto will murder the car. The reality, when you drive on the freeway, highway, like on the road, the attention you get is scary dangerous. I was with one of my members one day on one, and it's really, really crazy, everything you're getting. It's a dangerous car. We know that YouTuber will crash the one from his dad. It's not an easy car to drive. The technology, I don't think is on point, but you don't buy maybe this car for the reason. And yes, you have a Mercedes engine. So you're telling me you're buying a V12 from an Italian manufacturer with a Mercedes engine. So it's a little complicated. And the value, it doesn't go up like crazy in value. So you spend $3, $4, $5 million waiting for your car for so many years, and it's just going to be flat. That's a sad reality. If you buy a F80, if you buy a SP3, if you buy a LaFerrari, that's a really good investment. You can enjoy it. The other one, a Bugatti, for example, that's my dream car, the Chiron Sport or the new Tourbillon. This is a car that you can pretty much daily drive. I have no issue with it. The new one are really reliable. You have the warranty and service included now. So it's a car, for me, Bugatti, that you see more in car clubs, more on the road. The Pagani is just overrated because for me it's a museum piece, and I love cars for one reason, to drive them, not to look at them. Yes, it's good looking, but I want to drive it right now. I don't want to look at it.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. About the engine, my only counter would be that the McLaren F1 has a BMW engine.
This is true. This is 100. And this one, the SLR, has a McLaren engine, the Mercedes engine too. And Mercedes are doing incredible machinery. Do you talk really often about Mercedes in your podcast? I mean,
I'm a huge Mercedes fan.
Yes.
But for a different reason, though. Not
for Formula One.
Not even that.
Yeah.
I'm a G63 whore. That's my problem. I love that car. That car is like my favorite thing on existence. I'll drive that shit. That's my daily driver. I'll drive that thing. Give me one car, fuck a Turbo S, I'm taking a G63.
Yeah.
That's why I like Mercedes, for the wrong reasons.
The problem with the G63, and I said that last week in another podcast, is the worst car for fast and drive. So on the canyon, on the rally, on everything, this is you cannot even take it. When members who have daily driver, while a G63 take it, and they have different cars, they struggle with the car during a rally. And I get it. The engine is magical. I like what they're doing, the signature on the engine and everything. But today, Aston Martin is Mercedes. Mercedes is Pagani. It's just, I wish Pagani were building engine that were a little different. I like that they keep the V12, but I wish those owners would drive their Pagani. We had a Pagani a couple months ago in a drive. The owner of a car shop in Vegas, Vegas Auto Gallery. Nick, you probably know him. He took his Pagani on a drive, which was really unique. We have another member, I will not say his name, took one time to a small drive. But the problem is they are so scared. You hit a small thing on the windshield, on the side, the carbon is getting destroyed. It's really sad. You're talking about Manny. I think Manny probably has 300 miles in his car, and he has a beautiful Hermes one. Please, if you are Pagani owners, drive your car, take it out, enjoy it. And if you go to a car show, you're always going to see hypercar like P1, 918, LaFerrari, Bugatti.
Koenigsegg's even.
Koenigsegg, and Koenigsegg are incredible car. But unfortunately, it's I think, a car that should be more on the road. That's the only reason why I think.
They look great on the road.
Yeah, it looks so amazing.
Oh, the Utopia driving on the street.
Yeah.
Saw that in Monterey, 2 of them driving on the road. It's seeing that thing on a road is just the wildest thing.
So our member in Vegas, I'm not going to say his name again. He has everything. He's a founder of a huge corporation that is public. He got the first Utopia in the world. So we are talking about the connection on this one, And this guy drives his car. He takes the LaFerrari on rallies, the 918, everything. But Pagani, same thing. Is too much a masterpiece. And you can go back to Picasso. A lot of people who have Picasso, where is the Picasso? At the bank.
Yeah.
And they have a fake one at home. And it's kind of sad. You have a Picasso. That's the same idea. Where it's going to be, it's going to be in a vault. It's going to be in a garage. And I get it. But I do not believe that a car should stay in a garage.
Most underrated car?
The SF90 as of today. And I will not buy one today, but I believe this car should have more credit for what it is, because it's a first hyper budget car for Ferrari. And I believe at $400,000, when it's going to get there in a couple months, we are really close to it, that's going to be perfection. And I will say also the 296. I own one. The devaluation is horrible. That's why I'm selling it. And I think this car in 1 or 2 years, around 280, 250, that's going to be the best car on the planet. And as of today, the market is reacting badly to it because of the hybrid. Same about both. And that would be a really good purchase in the next couple of years.
Yeah, not a bad pick with where the values have gone at this point.
Yeah, but they built too many of them, and the reality is they're still going to build them for 2 years.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't think it's the right time to buy a 296. Maybe a Spider, you are safe. The GTS would be a good buy. But the reality, you start to find them. Can you imagine? It's a $440,000 MSRP car. Right now, you find the first tier for $320,000, $330,000 with low option. But who cares? Is such a magical car.
Then you spend all that money for the Assetto or whatever Fiorano kit, and there's no front lift. They won't put a front lift on that kit.
Yeah.
So you get like the most optioned SF90 possible, and you can't get a front lift.
You can. You have to install a Novitec one. Apparently, is what my dealer was telling me, and I don't want to say the name to not put them in trouble. But they don't void the warranty on this one because they understand the issues that it's causing to some members. I had a member who had we got a house in LA, and he had one of the first one. It's beautiful. It's different green. Is really perfect. We had to leave the car outside for a full week. Didn't fit in any garage in Los Angeles. I'm not even sure you could bring the car down here, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. And that, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's that tough.
Ferrari, if you are listening, put a lift on your Fiorano package. It makes zero sense.
Yeah.
I understand about the weight saving.
Yeah. Right?
It doesn't go in a
If someone
truck.
wants it and the lift,
Yeah.
give it to them. If someone's like, this car's only for the track, I don't want to lift, it's going to mess things up.
But
Hey, let 'em
let's
option it
talk
that
about
way.
the track. How do you bring it to the track? It doesn't fit in the truck.
Trailer, yeah. You gotta lift it up to the
So
trailer.
you have the same issue about the car.
Fair. All right, so the last question is, you've got no budget to build a 3-car garage. All you get is 3 cars,
Okay.
but you have an unlimited budget.
I will get a Bugatti Tourbillon. I mean, the
Okay.
new one, just
Fucking
incredible.
superb choice.
Yeah. Truly.
That is perfection. What Rimac is doing with it is just perfect. I think the look is great. The design, the small details, the screen that is going up. I love it because this car going to be timeless for 100 years. And he said, I watched all his interview when the car went out, and he said, this car will be out in 100 years, 200 years. Nobody will ever destroy them. It will be a collector. And you can change that small screen going out in 50 to 100 years. Is going to be still up to date. So that I think is really incredible. And I will have a LaFerrari, or the F40, but probably LaFerrari. I'm obsessed with this car, especially after driving it, for everything it represents, for the rawness, for the first hybrid. Like people criticize hybrid, but they love LaFerrari. When you think about it, it's people criticize the F80, but they were criticizing the LaFerrari, if you remember, when it came out 10, 12 years ago. And the number 3 I will have, the Turbo S. For the rest of my life, I think this car will be something that I hope to continue to enjoy, because it's just perfection. And you can daily drive the car, bring it everywhere. Is just absolutely perfection.
Gotta have it.
I can't get mad at that garage.
Yeah.
It's a firehouse garage.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Bugatti, I know the color. I will get, a little dark blue. I will get the Bugatti blue. My boat is the same color, so I love this blue. It's a French brand, so historically, it's coming back to my roots.
It hits home.
So
It hits home.
it hits
Crazy
home,
that
exactly.
The one big French brand, I know there's more French brands, but the one big, as far as supercars go,
Yeah,
is like the top of the top.
exactly.
The pinnacle.
Exactly.
Just took back the record for the top speed
Yeah.
with the top down.
And people say usually drive German or drive Italian. Actually, I would say drive French, Drive French, dress French, kiss French, eat French. So we eat it.
Get a Bugatti and a Peugeot.
Exactly. You have the choice. But you have Alpine. That is pretty good. It's not good in
yeah.
F1 right now. But no, a French brand outside Bugatti is not
I think those would do well here.
Yeah.
The
I
one-
wish
the one
they sell
here.
Alpine here. Let's talk about the car on a budget. Underrated car. They sell really well in France, and for $60,000 to $80,000 to $90,000, because it's what it is in Europe. Such a magical car, because it's not a big engine. It's really light, but is
French Cayman.
Yeah, exactly. The French Cayman.
Yeah.
You got it.
So it's just a
Disgusting,
Cayman
disgusting.
that's been done more beautifully.
Yeah. I compare them to the Lotus.
A little
If
more
you don't
character.
have a lot of money and you want to get an entry-level car and you don't want to get a Corvette, and we go back to it, you get an Alpine in Europe, you get a Lotus here, you get a really nice Cayman, a really nice Boxster. Those one are like really good for the buck.
Yeah, for sure. So tell everyone where they can find you on
Yeah.
social media
So
and the likes.
fastlanedrive.com, a big website, you can apply them. We answer really fast. So in the next 24 hours, if you apply, you're going to get an answer from our team. You're going to have to do a small interview, but it's a really easy process. If you're a cool person, no problem. You can find us on Instagram, Fastlane Drive, YouTube, Fastlane Drive, and that's really our major channel today. I hope you're going to come to a rally soon. I know you're going to Vegas tomorrow. It's pretty pretty sad, but you need to come to a drive to experience it and experience our members because it's something really different.
Yeah, I would love to.
Done deal. Buddy of mine named Jace. I think he's part of your
Exactly.
Orange County chapter. He speaks very highly of everything.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Jace
you.
is actually the one I'm going to go pick the car up from right now. As soon as
Oh,
we're done here,
perfect.
I'm going over there to grab it from him.
Yeah, you know, Orange County has been growing so fast, and we got really lucky because the first week we got 2 hypercars who joined. One of them is part of the 918 program, so we built a reputation of OC really fast. Talking about Manny, we were on the drive and we finished at our after party, and Manny was there, and one of my member, Blaise, is best friend with him. So he talked a lot about Fastlane to him. You should join. So I saw Manny. I was like, "Oh, you're friend with Blaise. You should join." And he was like, I don't really do rallies. But
Manny's
OC
too
is magical.
I love it.
Shout out again to
The
Auto
Vault.
Vault.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yes.
Scott. Shout out Kay. Auto Vault.
This
Liddell.
facility is incredible.
Thank you guys for having me. I had a great time. I don't know how long it's been, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it felt like 10 minutes.
We're about
We
to
could
hit
stay.
2 hours. Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of content, and you guys are amazing. You deserve your success. Honestly, everybody should listen, subscribe. Don't forget that. You know, share it to your friend, because those guys are rocking, and they're going to be really big in the car community. You know, we call me the Richard Mille of Car Club because we came from nowhere and we became so big. They are the Richard Mille of podcasts for car community and car connection. You know, they're going to be so big. So good job. Shout out to you guys. I'm a big fan, and I'm really proud that I came here.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate it. That means the world.
I could give you a French kiss after that.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a wrap. We're out.
We're out.
Perfect.